let's do peaks. This is designed by Tangerine Games, or I'm sorry, this is published by Tangerine Games, designed by Sam Gray, art by Nilanjan Malakar. Sorry if I completely butchered that. Very curious on your thoughts about Peaks. I backed it on Kickstarter, but apparently the pledge manner emails from backer it were going to my spam, so I never saw them. Ooh, that is not good, John. I have a somewhat relationship with the publishers here, with Brandon, Omi. They've been really nice guys every time that I've talked to them. Hopefully you can get something from it. Devin and I got this one as a prototype probably about a year ago at this point. It plays 1 to 6. Haven't played it solo yet. We played it at 2. Both of our thoughts were that it probably will play better at the higher player counts. I do plan on doing a solo stream on this one on the channel. But hopefully you can hear something back from them. And if not, then maybe we can figure something out. So this is Peaks. Let's go ahead and see. Production value is awesome. It's got, I don't know if you can really see it, but that kind of foil reflective in the name there. Rulebook is that same kind of Stonemaier game feel. I don't know what material they use, but it's that. From what I remember of the prototype to now, it looks pretty similar. None of the rules have really changed. They did add the solo variant just because that wasn't in the prototype. I know they also had a couple different cards that were like expansion cards or something like that. They weren't sure of, so they did add those in there. So pretty good little rule book. I read through it again on Sunday. Again, it seemed fairly simple, like it hadn't changed very much. The solo variant does add a little more stuff in there, so I do want to play it a couple times before I actually stream it, but it doesn't seem too bad. So that's the rule book. You have some dual layer player boards here. Again, this didn't change much from the prototype version either. Awesome artwork on the back. I wonder if it's different. Oh, yeah. Different artwork on the back. And so I'll kind of show how these work in a little bit. The thing is, I don't think I'm ever going to play this game at more than 4. And 4 is probably a stretch also. So I really want to try it at that higher player count because I do think that's where this game will shine. And then we've got the big old player board here. And this has changed a little bit. The map actually changed somewhat from what I remember from the prototype. I haven't gone back to watch our video, but I believe it was different than this. So you've got all the continents there. And then down here, where all the maps go, kind of tells you some end game stuff. I said maps, this is where all the mountains go. You've got your companions and your bonus cards. So that's cool that there's actually a place on the board for it. And then you have a pretty nice little organizer, a nice little insert. One thing that Tangerine Games has done with this one, Nestlings, and Saurus is their packaging, their inserts have been really nice. So we've got this here. Here's all the solo components, I believe. Yeah, this is all the solo components. And then I actually had the expansion. I forget what it was called. Extra Peaks or something like that. So I opened those up. And it was really cool because the first one that showed up is Ruka Pichincha, which I've actually been up on this peak a couple of times. This one is in Ecuador. It's in Quito. The house that I grew up in South America, you could see this mountain from our house, from our balcony. So it was really cool to see this one in there. I knew that they had said that they were going to put this one in there, so I'm very happy to see that. Many climbers hike Pichincha as acclimatization for climbing other big peaks in the area, such as Cotopaxi or Chimborazo. And then, it's got a little bit of stuff on there. Andes, Ecuador, Cedarburg, South Africa. You have Old Doño Lengay. So whenever you're doing these hikes, you're getting either of these bonuses, and this is kind of your requirements that you need to have in order to do that. Go through a couple more of these cards. This is the other one that I wanted to open up, because this is the other mountain that was from Ecuador that I have seen many, many times. And then, of course, it's got, the mountains here in the United States, too. Pikes Peak is one of the ones. I believe Mount Elbert is one. But it's just cool to kind of reminisce a little bit here. So we've got Cotopaxi, again, in Ecuador. This is the first recorded eruption of Cotopaxi, was in 1534, caused both sides of a battle for Ecuador to flee. Interesting. These cards are pretty nice. They've got some type of like holographic on it. You can't really see it, but I can see it a little bit. Maybe it's just a glare. But they're thick. Here's another one from Ecuador, Chimborazo. The Grand Tetons, the Matterhorn. So there's different types of mountains, peaks that you have. This is the B deck, so these are the bigger ones. Then you have the A deck here, which are your warm-up ones. About halfway through the game, you'll switch from the A to the B deck. Cerro Catedral. This one is in Uruguay. Mount Vesuvius. Vinicuna in Peru. Can't read that one, but it's in some Scandinavian country in Norway. Very cool. Love the artwork on it. I think it looks awesome. This one, just kind of separate these because I don't know if I want to play with the expansion cards just yet. There we go. Keep these here and these here. And then you have a couple of the components on the inside here. These are your companions, and this was one of the expansion companions. It's a good boy. Maybe that focus, maybe not. There we go. And there's another one, a mule. Very cool. So the companions will help you with various things throughout. This is actually the solo card, so that other one was reference sheets and stuff like that. Here are more companions. So you have the group guide. Again, these are little, these help you on your peaks. You have the personal trainer. You have the African mountain expert, porter, survival instructor. You have your boost cards, I believe, are what these are called. These are asymmetric ways to start the game. So you start with 8 energy and 8 stamina, 3 experience, some gear, 11 energy, 6 stamina, 1 climb die upgrade. So just different ways to start the game. And then these are end game scoring opportunities. So number of your climb mountains with a crampon requirement. 2 to 3 mountains, you get 1 flag. 4 or more mountains, you get 2 flags. So flags are how you end the game. You have to have all 16 flags out. That's some nice little wooden components here. These go on the continents. Extra pieces. And then the danger die, a D20 that you can roll if you don't have enough experience. And then all 6 different player colors. Now, I will mention this because this part was pretty disappointing. These 2 colors here, and maybe it looks okay on my screen here. And maybe it will be okay because you're never really... well, first of all, one good thing. Every player color has its own little holder with everything on there. So that's super nice. I do appreciate that. And all of your components, for the most part, stay on your board, except for these flags. And the flags are slightly different. So you can see this red flag has like a little cutout in it, and this one does not. So they are colorblind friendly there. But these are terrible, at least in person. Those are different colors. And yeah, you can't really see it there on my screen. Those are red or brown and the gold. Pretty hard to see. And I have this room lit up with a couple different studio lights with my overhead light. When I did not have those on, I had to really struggle to look to see which piece was which. Now, again, these are going to stay on your player boards for the most part. You can see it a little bit better there. So hopefully there's not a lot of mixing on there. But I was a little bit disappointed in that. Why didn't they just make it like a really bright green, or I'm sorry, red, or a really kind of noticeable yellow? They wanted to keep up with the color options. These are pretty similar too once you actually get them out. So that's a little bit hard. But, you know, on your turn, you have your dice here. Something similar to that. You have your cubes, and that's your action selection, right? So am I going to do a rest action, a prepare action, or a climb action? So you're putting your cubes there. And, you know, you have your, I think it's something like that, right? So for the most part, it shouldn't leave your player board, but it was a little disappointing that the colors were super similar, and I've seen quite a few other people complain about that as well. So I don't know, again, most of the stuff stays on your board, so it should be okay, but just that initial kind of shock. And the fact that they went pretty out of their way to make all the flags colorblind friendly, I figure they would have done something with the actual player components as well. But yeah, that is Peaks. Like I said, I'm excited to try out the solo. Not sure how well it's going to be. The whole kind of gimmick of the game, maybe not even gimmick, is that it has this follow action that you can do. So whenever you want to climb a peak, somebody that has enough energy and stamina and the correct gear and all that stuff, they can follow along even if you don't want them to follow along. And so that is the part of the game that's missing in lower player counts, you know, your 1 and 2 player counts. So we'll see how the solo does with that. But I will be streaming this one most likely next week, probably on Monday morning kind of stream. So be on the lookout for that one. Again, production value is great. Everything, you know, kind of about them has been good. And John, I'll reach out to you. We'll try to figure something out and see if we can get that game to you. But yeah, that is Peaks.